As a Penn State student, you've probably experienced the deafening screech of the fire alarms. Whether you're sleeping or studying, it always gets your attention. The powerful effects of sound are interesting, and in the past few weeks I've spent my time researching the LRAD, which is a long-range acoustic device, which is the future of riot control technology. The LRAD was developed by American Technology Corporation, and the company was later renamed the LRAD Corporation. And the LRAD is an innovative technology that provides a safe means of riot control. Throughout my presentation, I'll explain how the LRAD will revolutionize riot control. So first, I'll talk about how the science behind the LRAD. Next, I'll talk about why it's an innovation and the advantages of it over a previous riot control technology. And then lastly, I'll talk about its current implementation in our society. So unlike a conventional speaker that uses a diaphragm or cone that oscillates, the LRAD uses piezoelectric transducers. A piezoelectric transducer is a piece of piezoelectric material, which is just material that's electrically polarized, and when current is run through this material, it expands. So as you can see on this image, it's at its original state when there's no current running, and then it expands when a current's passed through it. So you can imagine this as a little mini cone, and the LRAD has a bunch of these mini cones on a giant array of them, and the wavefronts created by these oscillating cones creates a large volume of sound. On the bottom I have an image of how the piezoelectric transducers are set up. They're staggered so you can fit as many onto a single speaker as possible. So a big advantage of the LRAD cannon over previous riot control technology is that it allows you to give a warning to rioters. Unlike a bullhorn or megaphone, the LRAD can send messages over a very long range with a lot of clarity. This is very important for police because it creates a larger buffer zone and keeps the police safe. So the biggest advantage of the LRAD is its alarm tone. This alarm tone can inflict pain on riders who are in the path of the speaker. And on the left I have an image of the LRAD 2000X, which is capable of producing 162 decibel sound at 1 meter. And according to the LRAD website, the extended range of the LRAD 2000X ensures voice commands will be clearly understood over distances of 8,900 meters. It's about 5.7 miles, and that's a long distance. So, and on the right here, I have an image of it's an image of sound comparison. You can see at 60 decibels, that's what a typical conversation is at, and like 120 would be a rock concert. If you understand how the decibel scale works, every increase of 10 is twice an increase in apparent sound. So, according to an article published in the Wave and Sound, which is an acoustic engineering magazine, by Roman Vinegar, noise starts inflicting discomfort to the ears at about 120 decibels, and eardrum rupture occurs around 160 decibels, and lung rupture at 200 decibels. As you can see, the LRAD is capable of producing sound great enough to rupture the eardrums, but that is only from 1 meter, and that's very unrealistic. A rider will not be that close to the speaker, so that would not happen. And the LRAD is capable of producing sound that's within that range that will cause discomfort but not permanently injure anyone, because it's not capable of producing a sound that would rupture your lungs or anything that serious. So the LRAD has been used all throughout the world. It was first used in 2005 on a luxury cruise liner called the Seabourn Spirit. It was used to repel pirates off the coast of Somalia, and it was very effective, and it has grown in popularity since. On the left I have an image of the G20 summit in Pittsburgh, where it was the LRAD 500X and 1000X models were used, and just the picture on the right is its use by the Navy. It was also seen at the 2012 London Olympics, if you happen to have gone and saw that or watched it on TV. A testimony to its effectiveness. This is a quote from LRAD did a case study on high-profile events, and specifically the G20 summit. This is a quote from Mr. Dimichet, who's the Pittsburgh Deputy Director of Emergency Management and Homeland Security. He said, "Every police officer I talked to thought it worked famously. The bottom line is we could maintain order with the protesters without hurting them." And this just shows a professional's opinion on this device. So, in conclusion, the LRAD is an accurate and safe method of controlling and preventing riots. It's going to become increasingly popular in the future, and hopefully now you understand how it works, why it's such a great technology, and how it's being currently implemented in society. Thank you. Any questions?